You have a grandma? Well, mine is probably way better than yours is. My grandma is the most important person in my life, and nobody will ever teach me or take the things away from me that she taught me. Me and my grandma have a very special connection and have taught each other a lot about each other through the years, and like gave each other more than we had to start off with. I remember one time we was at my Uncle Floyd's house, and my grandma and my Uncle Johnny were sitting on the couch together. Two very old people, very different people as well. And we're just sitting around doing Mexican things, and eating food, watching the football game, even though we knew the Lions were going to lose. And my grandma starts bugging about her headache, and my Uncle Johnny looks over into her, "You want some weed?" And it was the funniest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. I cracked out laughing, and my grandma also bursted out laughing. It was great. When I'm down, or if my grandma's sad, we always know how to comfort each other and make each other feel better. I'm going to share with you why I love her so much and why she means so much to me. She taught me how to cook, be responsible, and so many other things. And she loved me so much and took care of me. My grandma helped raise me, which turned me into a person who can love others. My grandma was a great cook and loved making food for everybody. If you could think of a food, she probably knew how to make it. I have a family in Saginaw, Detroit, Lansing, and other huge cities around Michigan. And my grandma, they would all come to my grandma's house just to eat her amazing food. When it came to my grandma, there was never enough food to make, and she would actually start a burrito business and sell burritos to people around my block. And my dad would also take some of these burritos to his work and sell them. Now, the thing is, they have to go somehow, right? So my grandpa would go door to door knocking like some kind of Girl Scout trying to sell cookies, selling her burritos that she worked so hard to make. This made her really happy, and I think it made me a lot happier too. A lot happy. My grandma taught me a thing or two on how to cook food as well, ranging from tortillas, cilantro, maybe quesadillas, a lot of different foods. And I loved making food with her because I was so much better at it than any of my other cousins, and that made me happy as well. She was one of those grandmas who, if you were hungry, then she was gonna make sure that you weren't hungry, and if you were not hungry, you're gonna eat some more and finish your plate. I basically lived with my grandma because my parents had to work all day, and because of that, I had to learn how to cook and help clean around the house. It was one of my grandma's missions to raise me to be able to take care of myself and take care of other people. And so she thought it would have been a good idea for me to help clean around her house. It was a 3-story house, counting the basement, and it wasn't very difficult, from doing laundry to washing dishes, dusting some shelves. It wasn't really that bad, but when it came to outside, she had a huge yard, and it would take hours to clean. And I'm talking weed whacking, mowing the lawn, picking up trash. But I did it for my grandma because she was an amazing person and she was super old and frail. But mostly because she told me to. Even so, I still tried to have a good time while doing it. I remember one time, me and my cousins were having an epic sword battle with a bunch of brooms that we found. We were going back and forth. It was an amazing battle until one of the brooms broke. And Captain Amada Garcia, aka my grandma, gave me the belt for it. She was never really unfair when it came to the belt. She was actually probably more lenient against us grandchildren, but, you know, we deserved it. My grandma loved me so much and cared for me. I remember when she would always get me presents and spoil me way more than any of her other grandchildren. From me, I never wanted to give up on what I was passionate about, and she supported me all the way. My grandma couldn't go to many of my sports because she was older and frail and because of her conditions. So I would always stop by and tell her about how amazing I did in my wrestling match or how amazing the football game was last night. And if there was a place for my family to gather, it would definitely be my grandma's, because everybody went there, no matter what the time, what day it was. No matter if they were home or not, they'd still show up and eat her amazing food. My grandma was an amazing person who loved and was loved by everybody. I remember camping with her during the summers and sitting and relaxing with her during the winters. My grandma was better than anyone in the whole entire world, and she has done everything for me. And I would do anything for her. It's sad that she's gone now and that I can't repay her for the things that she did. But I will owe her everything, and I will never underestimate the things that she gave me.